What is up, guys? Jake from One Hive here with the next cleanup video. This one, you're looking at this base and you're thinking, what are we looking at here? This is what we've been getting. A lot of bases like this. Now, I've talked about it before, so, we're just long overdue for a cleanup video. So I'm going to bring it to you because there is some stuff to look at and some stuff to learn from the attack. So we're going to use it despite the shape of the base. The first attacker is Zhang, and he brings a really nice attack, and it honestly should have got the 3-star. I mean, it was so close. A few little things could have gone differently, but I think there was a few decisions that were made that also contributed to him not getting it. So let's talk about those. Zing comes in with a golem just right here. Obviously, he drops his wizards to create his funnel. He brings out a few wall breakers to take out this wall and drops a jump spell right there. He really didn't need the wall breakers. Maybe it was just, I'm not sure why, if it was precaution or what. But the jump spell could have connected all the way in, so he didn't quite need that. But it does bring it. All this goes pretty well. The queen goes down. The CC troops. He brings a poison spell for him, drops it. Everything goes down, and everything's looking great. The queen's back here shooting. The one thing that doesn't happen that I think needed to happen was this guy right here. This multi-infernal, even being level 1, did not go down, and in my opinion, that's what cost him the 3-star. Now, what I want to focus on is a few things about this attack. One, he missed his queen's ability. That could have hurt him. I don't think he would have got the Inferno Tower still, even using the queen's ability. I suppose it's possible, but I really don't think when you see the attack, you'll see what I'm talking about. Don't think it would have happened. And also, I think he should have brought the second golem. There's a lot of HP right here. The queen's got to get through this. And what ends up happening is the Inferno Tower never locks onto the queen. That's not what takes her down. In fact, I believe it's just this archer tower, and maybe this archer tower finally locks on, or this cannon. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the point defense locks onto the queen. Now, if there was another golem there, I think they would have been taking that stuff, and the queen would have been sitting back doing her thing. And then had he used the queen's ability, I think the Inferno Tower goes down, because that's sort of what happened in the next attack. So that's the main thing. After all that happens, though, he starts sending in his Lava Hounds, which is fine. Just working this counterclockwise motion around the base, dropping rages where he needs them, and everything goes great. But when the Lava Hounds start busting, watch this little guy do work. Not only taking out extra balloons that could have helped out, but more importantly, taking out lava pups. Those are your cleanup troops, and this multi was just sort of picking them off, just pop, 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 as they would come by, which I think made a pretty big difference. This is a very high, 2-star percentage attack. So we'll watch the attack. You guys will see what I'm talking about, and we'll come back to the drawing board. All right, here we go with Zhang's attack. Again, coming in from the top with a golem, just putting it down and then dropping wizards behind there. Now, that golem's doing quite a bit of tanking. The X-Bow's locked on. The Inferno Tower is already locked on. And now those CC troops are even going to get a swipe or two off on it before the poison and that wizard takes out the splash, or the CC troops that were messing with him there. So quite a bit of damage done on the golem already. You see right there, it already busted into golemites. Now the king's in. He's locked onto the queen, going to take care of her pretty quickly. Already starting the Lava Hound part of the attack, which is fine, except for right here, you're going to see these golemites are going to go down. One of the cannons, they're already targeting the queen. And then once that golemite goes down, I'm sorry, I misspoke. The Inferno Tower did lock onto the queen, and once that X-Bow and cannon locked on, it just happened too fast. Zhang just missed it. That's happened to all of us. But the Lava Hound part of the attack really went nicely. Good deployment, good spell placement. Everything's working great, except for that this guy over here is still up, and watch how much work he does here. Right there, that Lava Hound bust, and I think it took out 3 or 4 of the pups, so already short on pups, and now it's just going to continue that with that Air Sweeper pushing those back, just slowly pushing them back, continue to take out balloons. Just does a lot of damage to this attack. We'll start to fast forward here because everything slows down. They're just trying to get around and clean up those last few defensive buildings. There is a couple of Lava Hounds still up. One's about to bust right here. It finally goes down in perfect timing, really, because as soon as it goes down, the Inferno Tower goes down. I don't think he even lost any balloons to it, so that was nice. Or excuse me, any lava pups to it. But not enough cleanup. There's what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Collector still up, and the Town Hall still up. Just too much HP. For what he's got for cleanup troops, and everything's a little bit too spread out. So again, I think the Inferno Tower was the story of that attack, just not quite getting it done. But we'll go back to the drawing board and look at how it was cleaned up and talk about the differences. Guys, here we are with the next one. Lunchbox was a cleanup attacker on this one, and very, very similar attack. Yes, he does have level 30 heroes. I know you guys are going to call that out, and obviously that did help some, but I still think Zhang could have done this with his level heroes and just one more golem. You'll see that's exactly what Lunchbox does. Brings a couple of golems in here. He does leave the wall breakers behind and just uses the jump spell to let everything in, so that's nice. Poison for the CC troops, obviously same thing there. But then it comes in and the queen does get this taken care of. You'll see the one golem comes in, tanking for all this point defense that locked onto the queen. You know, it starts wrapping around the base this way, and the queen just steps right into the pocket once all these high HP buildings are dead, uses the ability, takes out the Inferno Tower, and then from there it's pretty much smooth sailing. The reason that I think the second golem was better is look at, you know, this guy's got pretty low air defense, not to mention the archer towers, their level. You know, it's just the expos pointed down. You know, all those are big things that you need fewer and fewer lava hounds when that's the case. They're not going to bust fast. I believe Lunchbox even ends up with a couple that don't bust. So when you see these lower level bases like this, go heavier, especially with Inferno Towers. Go heavier on your kill squad. Make sure you get one of those Inferno Towers, because really, in reality, those are the only threat in this entire base to a well deployed La Luna attack. If those weren't there, look at what you could do to this base. You could take the entire thing out with just probably 2, maybe 3 lava hounds and a bunch of balloons. It would wreck the entire base. So getting rid of those Inferno Towers is priority number 1. And so on that kill squad, make sure you get one. And then from there, you're pretty much set. So we'll watch Lunchbox do it and then wrap up. All right, here comes Lunchbox attack again. 2 golems just coming in here, going to do all the tanking for him, and he really sort of favors up more towards the side of the Inferno Tower. I like that as well. Jump spell goes down. Both guys were a little bit late on their poison spells. That golems were in range as soon as they hit that wall, so a little bit earlier. Should have been waiting on them to come in, but not a huge deal. You see the funnel instantly created by those wizards, and now everything's going to start working its way in. The king still has not been dropped, but look at this right there. Now that golem's up there, it's doing the tanking for the X-bow. It's doing it for both of those archer towers, that cannon. Everything's being tanked by that golem, so the queen and king are able to sit back, take out these high HP storages, and then once they get in range, that queen's ability obviously going to take out that Inferno Tower very easily. The golemites are still doing the tanking, so that's perfect. Uses the king's ability as well. It goes down. Now at this point, it is pretty much over. Uses basically the same deployment technique that that the first attacker did. I'm sorry, name slipped my mind real quickly. The first attacker did, and it works. It works great. You know, everything works around. But towards the end of the raid, there's nothing beating on his pubs. There's nothing that Inferno Tower is not beating on his balloons. He just has lots more cleanup troops to get away with it. You see, he's still got balloons in the bag here, coming on the backside with a few. And look at these lava hounds. I mean, he's still got 2 up, I believe, and right there, they're not even gonna. I mean, they're not even low on health. So that's what I say about bringing those extra golems as opposed to lava hounds. You really don't need them. They're probably not going to pop for you. Even bringing a few minions or something like that for cleanup would be better, because look at all the balloons. I mean, he's got what, probably 8 balloons left at least. Probably grabbing a few minions would have made it even a little easier. But excellent attack by Lunchbox, and Zhang just didn't quite get it done. All right, guys. Hope you liked it. Until next time, Jake from One Hive reminding you guys to suck less.